Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Stats here, and today I'll be showing you a quick tutorial on how to use the Pokemon Attack Survival Calculator, or ASC for short. So, what the ASC does is, given a defending Pokemon, it will generate the best EV spread to survive a specific attack. Now, there are two main ways that it can do this. It can calculate the minimum number of EVs necessary to survive an attack, or you can put in the number of EVs that you have available and use the best EVs function to calculate the best way to distribute them. Let's just start off with a minimum EVs example. So let's say that I want my Mega Kangaskhan to survive another Mega Kangaskhan's low kick. All right, we'll just enter those in. Now, it doesn't have a relevant item, and here, let's just give it an adamant or boosting nature. Level looks good. Now, with parental bond, you want to leave the number of hits at 1, so you only want to change this if you're trying to make an attack a 3-hit KO or more, or if you have a multi-hit move like Bullet Seed or Icicle Spear. So, parental bond already accounts for the second hit. And I want to survive this attack 100% of the time with at least 0.01% of my HP remaining. So all we have to do is hit calculate, and it will return 36 HP EVs and 180 defense for a total of 216. Now let's just verify that that worked. So we'll go to our damage calculator here. Kangaskhan. Alright, so we're going to give it an adamant nature, and 36, 180. Now, as you can see, it leaves it with 184 with 1 HP remaining. So that worked out nicely. Now, another thing you can do with the minimum EVs function is you can survive a second attack as well. So let's say I wanted to generate a spread that would survive Hydreigon's Choice Specs Draco Meteor also. So let's just enter that in. And by default, it will say 100% of the time with 0.01% of its HP remaining. So you can actually change these separately. So this will correlate to Kangaskhan's low kick, and this will correlate to Hydreigon's Draco Meteor. So we're just going to hit calculate again. It'll run for a little. And it says 228, 44, and 4. So let's just verify that that worked out. Alright, as you can see, low kick still does not KO, which is fantastic. And we'll just check Hydreigon, Draco Meteor, which does not do enough. So 1 HP left over. So that worked out nicely. Alright, so that's basically the minimum EVs function. You can survive 1 attack or 2, and you can modify the percent of the time you want to survive the attack with a certain amount of HP remaining. So I guess, just for this example, let's say I had a Tyranitar on my team with Mega Kangaskhan, and I wanted to survive 1 turn of Sandstorm damage and this low kick. So, all we have to do is Sandstorm does 1/16 of the Pokemon's base HP in damage, which correlates to 6.25%. So, we want at least 6.25%, or 6.251. So we'll just add that in there so that it will do, it'll give us a little bit left over, because if we put in 6.25, then Sandstorm might KO us. So let's just do that for now and calculate. So 76 HP and 220 defense. Let's enter that in. 76 HP, 220 defense, and let's go back to Kangaskhan. Alright, so low kick does 93.6%, but just to verify, so here we have 118 damage and 60 damage, all right, which is 178. So our HP stat over here is 190, so 190 minus 178, and we need to calculate how much damage Sandstorm will do to us. So that is 190 divided by 16, which is the floor of that. Oops, let's actually do that first. So, since Pokemon truncates decimal points for the most part, it does 11 damage. So, it's 190 minus 178 minus 11. So, as you see, we have 1 HP left over after low kick's maximum rolls and after Sandstorm damage. So that's how you would play around with the percent HP remaining to change that parameter, survive, a bunch of stuff. You can also do that to change attacks into a 2-hit KO or a 3-hit KO. If you put in 50.1% of HP remaining, that would mean that the Pokemon in question will do 49.9% of the defending Pokemon's HP and damage at a maximum. So you will get 3-hit KO'd by that attack. But that's enough for minimum EVs for now, so let's switch over to the best EVs function. Alright, now I'm just going to reload this page to reset everything. Now, best EVs. Now, I make a relatively simple Conkeldurr spread. All I want it to really do is survive an Adamant Mega Kangaskhan's Double Edge. So let's just put that in. And Double Edge. Alright. And usually I run 244 attack EVs, so that leaves 264 EVs left over. Alright, now all we have to do to find the best spread with 264 EVs left over is best EVs, calculate. Alright, so it gives us the spread 172 HP, 12 defense, and 76 special defense. So you can verify that it will actually survive the double edge, but I've used that spread for a while, so I know that it does what it's intended to do. So, how the best EVs function works if you do not put in a comparative attack is it will reduce generic damage on the opposite defensive side. So, what does that mean? Mega Kangaskhan's Double Edge is a physical attack. So, the calculator will attempt to reduce special damage from a generic attack. Alright, let's just fill that back in. But if you want a specific attack, then you can just enter that in here. So let's say Cresselia's Psychic. Oops, not Hidden Power Psychic. Alright, and then they usually run Bold and at a maximum probably 212 special attack EVs. So, and you can hit calculate, and then it will show you how much damage Cresselia's Psychic with those specifications does. So, what this is doing now is it is reducing the damage from Cresselia's Psychic. So before we had 172, 12, and 76, but this spread guarantees the survival of Double Edge while reducing the damage from this specific attack. So the way this works is it first attempts to minimize the number of exit KOs, then it will make sure that it'll reduce the chance that you are one-hit KO'd, and then it'll reduce the percentage of damage done. So there are several things factored in here. Alright, now a couple other extras that you can play around with are the special HP numbers. Now let's say you're running Life Orb, so you want to minimize the amount of damage that Life Orb recoil will do to you. So you just check the Reduce Life Orb damage checkbox and then hit calculate, and it'll use this special HP number that is 1 under a multiple of 10, because Life Orb will do 1/10 of your HP. And you can also check up to 2 of these boxes and hit calculate, and it will modify your HP stat based on those. And a final thing you can play around with is the minimize HP button. So this is kind of less relevant in the current format, but this is good if you are using draining moves, like Conkeldurr uses Drain Punch. So if you reduce your HP, then the HP that you regain from a draining move will heal back a larger percent of your HP. So this is mostly for theory. I wouldn't necessarily use this a whole lot, but this will allow you to reduce your HP stat at the cost of at most 2% of damage on the opposite defensive side. So it will still survive the double edge, but then it will allow Cresselia's Psychic to do at most 2% more damage so that it can reduce the HP EVs. Alright, I think that's about it for now. I hope you guys like it, and if there are any bugs, just shoot me a PM on the Nugget Bridge Forums. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that if you are not trying to survive a specific attack, you can use a modified version of Exact's calculator. It's a little bit old, and you need to enter in a bunch of the Pokemon specifications, but it is good just to find generic bulk if you're not trying to survive a specific attack. And I'll link a bunch of stuff in the description below. So yeah, all right, bye now.